the Pac-12 for the title of second best conference. But yeah, Pac-12's for real. Do you see Oregon being able to run the table?
Yeah, I do. I think that, I mean, every game, as I said, is a trap game, but Oregon's superior to every team that they're playing the rest of this year. And I think the only game that I'm scared about every game, but the only game that I'm looking forward to and a little bit cautious about is the Arizona State game that we might play, assuming we would win the Pac-12 North, and the Stanford game, of course, too. But yeah, those ones are the ones that we've got to win. But Oregon can run the table, and I really think Oregon's got a good shot at taking one of the spots in the college football playoff.
Yeah, if Oregon runs the table, I think Oregon's in.
Yeah.
However, if Oregon falls, I think that opens up the door for two SEC teams to be in the college playoffs.
Yeah, I think if Oregon, because there's no other team in the Pac-12 that's going to make it at this point.
I agree.
Yeah, Arizona State, I guess. Maybe Arizona State, they could run the table, but they're not ranked far enough, and so much carnage would have to happen in the SEC that I don't think it's a possibility.
Absolutely. So, okay, Big 12 is just absolutely bonkers right now.
Yes.
It's crazy. So here's the conference standings. Kansas State is 3-0 and on top of the Big 12 right now.
Kansas State is an Auburn victory away from being undefeated.
Exactly. Kansas State is an Auburn victory away from being undefeated.
That's
now
crazy.
Granted, that Oklahoma game was insane. Like
yes. All over the place.
A lot of fortunate bounces went in the direction of Kansas State.
Sure.
However, that's not taking anything away from Kansas State. Kansas State should be 6-0 right now.
Yes. Oh man. All the stuff that happened this week against Oklahoma was karma for what happened that week. They lost that game. Auburn did not win it.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. So Kansas State is on top of the Big 12 right now, followed by West Virginia.
Wow.
West Virginia made Baylor look silly on last Saturday.
Yes.
So it goes Kansas State, West Virginia, Baylor, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's got a big game this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then TCU, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Iowa State, and of course Kansas is at the bottom of the Big 12.
Wow.
So basically, here's what I see. I see really no one from the Big 12. I don't think anybody from the Big 12 is going to be able to run the table.
Yeah. It depends. It depends on how. If you think Baylor's loss was a fluke,
I kind of do, but I still think they're going to be able to. I still don't think they're going. No,
Kansas State and Baylor will be a good game.
Kansas State Baylor is going to be a great game. OU is going to be playing Baylor coming up. That's going to be a primetime game. I think OU beats Baylor.
Yeah, I do too. I've said that since I still think Oklahoma's the best team in this conference. I don't know how the tables have turned so quickly, but in the past 2 weeks, but I still think Oklahoma's good enough to beat Baylor for sure.
Yeah, they're absolutely. Yeah. Baylor has no defense. You remember how we were making fun of the Cowboys' defense at the beginning of the year?
Yes, and the Jacksonville's team.
Yeah.
But Cowboys' defense. Sorry.
The Cowboys' defense. Well, obviously, how wrong we are about that. Cowboys have a great record right now.
Best in football. Well, professional.
And so, first of all, we were wrong about that. Second of all, how bad we thought that the Cowboys' defense. We thought they were that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Baylor's defense is that bad.
That's true.
You give up. Yeah. I was watching that TCU Baylor game. I'm like, I told my dad, this is a basketball score.
Yes, it was.
It was like 61-58 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is a basketball score.
Yeah, I don't know how Baylor's defense even held up in the fourth quarter to make sure they won that game.
You know the reason Gary Patterson went for it at midfield?
Why?
It's because he knew there was no way that his defense could stop Baylor's offense.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, they're so fast.
So yeah, Pac-12 or Big 12 is confusing. Very, very confusing to me. It's in shambles.
I look at those schedules though, and there is 6 teams in that conference that have 2 or less losses. There are, oh goodness, 3 1-loss teams, 3 2-loss teams. That is an exceptional conference. I think, of course, Kansas, Iowa State, Texas Tech, and Texas don't look that good, but I mean, top of the conference, they're very, very good. I think. I mean, I hate to say this, but I think it's Washington State that's making me say the Pac-12 is better because I think Washington State can beat those 4 teams. But I would take West Virginia over Arizona State any day. Like I would take. Baylor.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. West Virginia. I forget who they. I saw the Oklahoma game against West Virginia.
Yeah.
I was not. That game, I was not impressed with them at all.
Yeah.
Now granted, they made Baylor look foolish, but
yeah.
No, I think we're overreacting a little bit to West Virginia.
Really.
I think once the dust settles, West Virginia is going to be about in the number 5 area.
Yeah, I get you. That makes. I mean, I can understand that for sure. I remember watching that Alabama West Virginia game and just being absolutely. I mean, I just could not believe how good West Virginia. That receiver White is just. I mean, he's very, very good. And of course, Trickett is a guy that one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Can't stand him. I can't.
You don't like Trickett?
I don't like Trickett.
How do you not like Trickett?
He has a certain Johnny Manziel-esque about him that just is nauseating to me.
Interesting.
I can't stand him.
Huh. That's really interesting because he got benched.
Yeah.
He got benched by famous Jameis, and so now he's at at another school because he has to be, like, he wants to play football.
Right.
That's crazy that I like it. He's got a big arm and he's mobile. I mean, he's a guy a tall guy. He's a guy that's not as big as Andrew Luck, but for sure, I think he's an NFL guy.
Oh, he's an NFL guy.
Yeah.
I'm just talking
more than Jameis.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. I think just pure playing, I'd take him over Jameis. I think he's got a bigger arm. I think he's better for the pro system.
If I'm an NFL scout.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
If I'm an NFL scout,
yeah.
I can see your point.
You're an NFL analysis.
Okay.
Matthew Berry, senior NFL analysis.
That's an interesting conversation. And I'm sure we will talk about that once the draft is
Transition
coming up.
away.
Yes. Big Ten. Man, this Big Ten is interesting also. I think Michigan State. I think it's safe to say Michigan State's going to run the table.
Yeah, I don't see Ohio State beating them. I don't see Wisconsin beating them. Yeah.
Yeah, Michigan State.
Minnesota looks good all of a sudden.
Minnesota does look good. I just see Michigan State running the table. I think this is where Michigan State could be in trouble, is if Nebraska ends up winning the Big Ten West, and they meet Michigan State in the Big Ten championship game, and if Nebraska somehow finds a way to beat Michigan State, that's where I think Michigan State could be in trouble.
Yeah, I can understand that too. But you're right. I mean, I look at Minnesota, I look at Ohio State. I don't think those teams are going to beat them. I don't think they've got any shot at beating these guys. Big Ten is definitely Michigan State's to lose, and I think that Michigan State, they could be undefeated if they play, if they do a few things against Oregon too. So, of course you could make the if for every team, but Michigan State looks very good, and I think they've got a good shot to get in, especially considering the fact that there will be a lot of SEC, knocking each other out by the end of the year. So, they look good.
Then ACC, you have Florida State. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Louisville.
No. I don't see Louisville doing anything.
I know, neither do I. I don't see anybody doing anything in this. I don't know why this conference exists. Really,
basketball.
Basketball, right?
Basketball.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's
put Florida State with the Independents. I don't know.
They used to be.
Yeah, well, they still should be. They should be back there. Not really, of course. The basketball ties are incredibly important. They won. They won a couple of years ago.
North Carolina women's soccer and Duke lacrosse.
Yes. Okay, all those East Coast sports.
Yeah,
they're very good, and I'm going to give them credit for that. The ACC, of course, is very important, but for football, I think that they should just integrate with some other team. Because really, Clemson.
So are you saying
Miami looked very good last night.
Virginia Tech looked that bad last night.
It's true. Well, Duke Johnson, I think, is the real deal.
Duke Johnson's the real deal.
227 yards rushing. I was like, man, that's crazy.
There's NFL scouts drooling over Duke Johnson right now.
I think he's number 2 behind Gurley right now in the draft.
Should be.
So
Rightfully so.
I think he's a built guy now. I think he's got some injury problems, but anyway, that's what I'm holding out for. Duke and Miami are the teams I'm just saying, oh please, when Florida State plays them, let's see them go down. But Florida State is above and beyond the best team in this division by far. Conference. I keep saying division, conference.
And so then we have the best conference in football.
I'm gonna let you talk about this one.
We have the SEC.
Yeah.
And wow, the SEC. First of all, let's talk with the East. Georgia proved that, with a shutout of Mizzou, and then humiliating Arkansas last week in War Memorial. Georgia proved that they're a solid team. I think that they're a team that will give Ole Miss trouble. That they're going to give Mississippi State trouble. They're going to beat whatever team is that they'll face in the West. They're going to give that team some trouble.
Oh wow. Okay.
In the SEC championship game.
Wow.
I believe that.
Do you think that Georgia wins the SEC
I think,
championship
Georgia,
game against any of those teams?
I think they have the potential to.
Wow.
I definitely think they could.
That's fascinating. Okay. With Gurley back or with Chubb? Or does it matter?
Chubb showed me a lot.
Chubb is very good. He looks very good. Or it's either that or we just know that the Georgia offensive line is very good. I think a lot of it's Chubb, of course, but goodness. I mean,
both.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, and I guess you got a 5-star backup running back. You're not doing too bad.
You're not doing too bad, but I think Gurley should play this week.
Gurley. Yeah. You think because of the... I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up with the suspension stuff on him. Do you know what's been going on?
2 weeks. He's been suspended for 2 weeks. I haven't heard if he's going to be playing or not this week. He should play.
Yeah.
Free Gurley.
Free Gurley. Where do you see Georgia in this conference period?
In this I think it goes Mississippi State. I know Ole Miss beat Bama.
Yeah.
But I still think Bama's a better team than Ole Miss.
I do think
so. I see Mississippi State, Ole Miss, or Mississippi State, Alabama. I'm going to go Ole Miss, Georgia, Auburn.
Whoa, okay, so you've got 3 teams ahead of Georgia, but you're saying that they've got a legitimate shot to win the SEC championship.
Yeah, they do. I mean, there's a lot that can change between now and the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
There's going to be records that look totally different.
Yeah, that's true.
Players could get hurt. I think an important key is someone being able to expose the Ole Miss defense. Because right now, Ole Miss has been dominant on the defensive side of the ball. And I'm just waiting for some team to be able to expose that. And you know that offensive coordinators from across the SEC are going to be looking at that game to seeing, okay, what did they do and how can we implement that into our offensive scheme.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
And basically, the rest of the SEC East is
not there.
winless Vandy. Actually, I'm making a prediction right now. The Vandy baseball team is going to score more runs than the Vandy football team is going to put up.
Wow. Okay. What are they at right now?
I don't know, but that's just a prediction that I'm going to make because Vandy football is that bad.
Bold predictions of the Big Toe Sports Show. Hey, I like that. Hey, we need some bold predictions. Get the people a little fired up.
Tennessee's winless. Florida's awful.
Again, but Tennessee. I mean,
Tennessee's got a lot of talent.
They do. They almost beat Georgia.
They got a lot of talent. They're just so young.
Yeah, they are. They're going to be good in a couple of years. You've been saying that for a couple of weeks, but I'm with you. Like, after I watched that Georgia game, they are there. They're ready to go.
Florida, Muschamp's gone. I don't know who they're going to find. Muschamp's gone. Florida's going to be awful. I just hope that somehow Florida could pull out a miracle and beat Florida State in the very last game of the year. That would make
wouldn't it? That'd just be so good. Especially since Florida's not going to be ranked at any time soon. So yeah.
South Carolina is enjoying their. I don't know what South Carolina's doing, honestly. Yeah. South Carolina is waiting for Spurrier to have a new recruiting class before Spurrier rides off into the sunset.
Yeah, that's true.
Kentucky's on the rise.
They play.
Still not there yet.
They play Mississippi State this week.
Kentucky? Yeah.